Jones. Absent. Bartholomew.
Here.
Warham.
Here.
Kelso.
Here.
Butterfield.
Here.
Spar.
Here.
Got four.
Everybody's had a chance to look at the minutes from the August 22nd meeting. There's no amendments. Are here a motion for approval?
I move we approve the minutes from August 22nd.
I'll second that.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Approved.
Okay, before we start tonight, council would like to just read a short description of zoning board.
Thank you. Public hearings are being held tonight pursuant to published notice. Any person wishing to address the zoning board will be sworn in by our court reporter and will give their testimony under oath or affirmation. At the conclusion of the public hearing, the zoning board will make its determination. 4 yes votes are required to obtain the approval of the zoning board. The purpose of the public hearing is for the zoning board to receive testimony regarding whether the proposed variance meets the required legal standards for a variance to be issued. The public hearing is not intended to afford individuals an opportunity to comment on whether a proposed project is or is not a good idea. Relevant factors for the zoning board to consider include whether the denial of a variance would cause a particular hardship to the owner because of the conditions of the specific property involved. 2, any unique attributes of this property, not the use, not the individual who lives there or owns it, but of the specific property, which are not generally applicable to other properties in the same zoning district. 3, whether the proposed variance is requested purely for economic gain. 4, whether any particular difficulties have been caused by the applicant. 5, whether granting the variance will be detrimental to the public welfare or injurious to other property in the area. And 6, whether the proposed variance will impair adequate light or air to adjacent properties, cause traffic problems, impair property value, or endanger public safety. Testimony offered should be limited to the relevant factors I've explained. Rules of order govern the conduct of tonight's public hearing. No one should speak unless and until recognized by the chair, and speakers should follow the directions of our chair.
Thank you. So we'll start. Our first case tonight is number 22-06. A variance has been requested for the property located at 2481 North Morton Avenue. The petitioner seeks a variance from ordinance number 78-31 relative to front yard fence requirements. Ornamental fences not exceeding 3.5 feet in height are permitted within the front yard of an interior lot. The petitioner is proposing a 6-foot tall fence with stone columns located every 18 feet in the front yard. This would result in a variance of 2.5 feet in height for the front yard fence. Who's ever going to speak this case, can you stand up and Lee will swear you in and you can step to the podium and give us a brief. Just state your name and your address, then you can.
My name is Brandon Murphy. I'm general contractor for Aaron Motley Rossi at 2481 North Morton Avenue.
Okay. Tell us what he wants to do.
Well, we're asking for a variance for a security fence for mainly containment and security purposes. That's mainly exactly what they want.
And 3 foot won't suffice, 3.5 feet won't suffice?
They have young children and big dogs. They're just scared the dogs are going to jump over the fence.
Now, as I look at that plan, it just goes straight across. Are they going to fence in the whole yard then?
No, it'll go back 40 feet on both sides.
Okay. Back to the ravine there or wherever?
Yep.
Pretty much. I just don't know, as far as security, I don't know what, his kids can jump a 3.5 foot fence. I think they could probably jump a 6. As far as keeping everybody in there, I think it'd look nice with 3.5 foot fence in the columns. I think it would, because the column height has to be 3.5 too, right? Nothing higher.
Part of the fences.
Yeah. And I know there's some pictures from other other fences out in another neighborhood.
Yes, that one's right behind
Yeah,
where this property
yeah.
is. I don't know if it's...
Anybody else has any questions?
Was the purpose of those pictures are you trying to say that those set a precedent? I mean, was that the?
Well, these people received variance for their fence, and that's why we petitioned to get a variance.
So for clarification, of the two, there was a variance granted for the 38 Diamond Point, and the other one was just a permit that was issued, but there's not a whole lot of documentation.
Okay.
How long ago was that?
One was in 1996 and the other was in 2001.
So the one without documentation is the older one.
Actually, no. The permit was issued in 2001. The one with the variance was in 96.
I guess also if it's a security issue, why would you not be fencing the whole property?
Yeah, I think it looked great. I mean, the place looks good. I mean, you guys done a really nice job. I think that 3.5 will suffice, and I think it'll still look really nice. I don't think that's going to deter personally, but I don't know how anybody else feels.
I kind of agree that if you're trying to secure the property, you would fence all of it and it does not hurt it.
And the sides, you could go a little taller, can't you?
Yes, you can go up to 6 foot in
Yeah.
the side yard.
Yeah.
So the side yard would be up to that front corner of the house.
Does anybody else have any more questions? If not, do I hear a motion for?
You want to make sure nobody else in the public?
Does anybody else want to comment to this case? Okay. With that, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move on case number 2206 to grant approval of a variance requested, Morton Municipal Code Ordinance 7831.
I'll second.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Butterfield,
No.
Spar,
No.
Bartholomew,
No.
Kelso,
No.
Warren.
No,
Variance not approved.
it's been denied.
Okay,
But I appreciate your time coming in, and
thank you.
thank you. Okay, our next case tonight is 22-07. A variance has been requested for a property located at 228 North First Avenue. The petitioner seeks a variance from ordinance number 93-30 relative to the location of accessory structure. Accessory structures are permissible in the rear yard. The petitioner is requesting variance to permit accessory structure or patio to be on the side yard. Who's ever going to speak this case, step in front of me. She'll swear you in.
Yes.
Podium, just state your name and address, and then,
Hi, my name is Stan Gallett. My address is 101 East Monroe Street, Morton, right across the street from the property we're talking about.
okay, yeah.
I'm
Tell-
sorry?
You can just tell us how we got to this point.
How we got to this point. The property is 228 North First. It's on the corner of First and Monroe Street. There's 52 feet of exposure on First and 135 on Monroe. Firstly, I wasn't aware that there was, an ordinance that said I couldn't have a patio in a side yard. And secondly, this is by far the most private part of the lot for a patio. That is there's quite a bit more exposure to the street on the Monroe Street side, which would be the technical backyard because the front door faces First Avenue. I did attach a drawing to the application. Does everybody have one of those or not?
Yes.
Okay, so you can see what we're talking about. I've got a permit application in for a privacy fence that will come around. It'll very much screen the patio from traffic and from passersby. It was the best place I could think to put it. So that's why I'm here.
Side setback, Brad, on,
Yes,
that has to be,
4 foot 6 inches from the
Okay, 4
property
foot
line.
6.
Yep, it would be
In this drawing,
For the fence or the patio?
the patio.
The patio.
The fence can be on the property line, the patio, any structure can't be closer than 4 foot 6 inches.
is your pad on the lot line?
Right now it is. It's going to be cut back to 4.5 feet. Again, that was something I had no idea that a patio was considered a structure.
So we can't have, if he cuts that back to the setback, he still can't have a patio there.
Correct, the
You could
variance is
have-
for
could
the
you-
patio. The
The
patio is an
variance is
accessory
to put the
structure.
patio
Right,
where the
can you
patio
have where it
is.
is now?
Yeah.
But you can have a sidewalk coming up that door?
You can have, yes, you can have a sidewalk.
And then if you see the sidewalk coming around from the front, and then there's a stairs that go into the house, the stairs with a landing.
Yeah.
So even without the patio, I mean, there would be all that concrete, you know, I mean, it would just square off with the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So,
Now, I drove by, is there another door coming out towards where the garden is now? Is there a door heading out to the garden in between the garage and the house?
there will be.
Okay,
There is not now.
okay.
But that would crowd up on the street pretty hard.
Yeah. It's another, I like, your house is nice. You've done a nice job for what this thing started out as. It looks
Thank you.
really good.
I'm really trying.
Yeah. I just, on these, you know, we haven't had this come in front of us as far as wanting a patio on a side yard. I don't recall.
what's the height of the fence that you're
6
planning?
feet.
Is there any, well, we'll ask that, I guess, if anybody from 224.
Yeah,
Yes.
he asked if he should come, and I said I didn't think there was any need to. He's in favor of it.
Because I just noticed that it's going to be tight. to
It'll
the
be tight,
sidewall
yeah.
of his
But
house.
again, the application is not for the fence,
Right.
it's for or the variance is not for the fence, it's for the patio.
Correct.
Are there any special considerations for a corner lot on this at all?
No, I mean, what gets a little different is just the, whatever, because you have 2 front yards here, so you have 2 front yards, a side yard, and a rear yard, because it's on a corner, and on an interior lot, you've got a front, rear, and 2 sides. So, I mean, it makes things a little more unique, just because it's on a.
Yeah, it's a unique situation in that the driveway is coming out to Monroe, but again, that's the same way my house is.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have a question. Did you get a permit when you put this patio in?
I didn't,
So that would explain why you were,
exactly. Yeah, again, and I'm sorry, I
that would
didn't.
have been vetted out at the
Yes,
time.
it would have been. I didn't know I needed to. I wasn't aware that that concrete was a structure. There's been quite a bit of back and forth about that.
But you're saying you're going to make it smaller than what it is now?
Yeah, I'm going to have to
Yeah.
saw cut at least, I'm 6 inches off the lot line now. I'll have to cut 4 feet off of it.
Okay.
I didn't cut it and remove it because I mean, there's no point in taking 4 feet out if I'm going to need to take, 10 feet out.
How much is left if you take that 4 feet out? How
Um,
far out from the house or the steps is it gonna be?
Well, the steps are about 4 feet wide, so we're about 4 feet then to the sidewalk. The sidewalk's 3 feet wide. I didn't measure it. It's another It's not all that much. I mean, it's probably another 6 feet,
What,
8 feet.
how much sidewalk can you pour on the side of a house then? What would the city, what do we,
Well, like in our driveway standards, it allows for up to a 5-foot service walk from the
Okay.
driveway around. This little
so he could
difference.
technically have a 5-foot sidewalk
Service walk, yes,
from the house out?
yes.
It's really not, I could measure it, but it's not a ton further than that.
Yeah. I just don't, I mean, me personally, I know where you're coming from, and you're doing a nice job. I just, if we start, if I grant this one, we got a lot of corner lots in town, they could potentially say, I want, a patio or something in my side yard that's similar to you. I would just say if you can, if you're gonna cut anyway, I don't know if we just cut it back to what you need for your minimal, sidewalk to get to that stairway, get in the house.
Uh,
I mean, he can have a 5-foot service walk all the way around that side.
Yeah.
If that's what,
I'm just
those
looking
stairs over.
at where his stairs are, relative, so I would rather just keep it as what we have, 5'3", and, I don't know, where your garden is, it probably would make it kind of a neat little patio. I know that's.
Well, that was sort of the idea.
What's that?
That was always the idea,
Yeah,
was to have it back there, tucked in there behind everything, away from the traffic,
Yeah.
away from,
yeah.
So you do have another option then?
I don't have another option. If I have to take this patio out, I will still put the privacy fence up, but it'll just be apparently a tiny little yard then, I guess, inside the fence.
You had a patio where the garden is previously?
I'm sorry?
There was a patio where the garden
Now,
is previously?
if you look at the old GIS on this, approximately where the garden is now, there was a kitchen addition, a flat roof kitchen addition back off of that. And then where I have this patio, there was concrete there that we pulled up to do the whole thing. That's where it was originally. That's why I didn't think I needed anything for this.
Yeah, in that old part of town, there's a lot of stuff that's not right, as far as just that stuff got done over the years, and they didn't come and, get permits, and it ended up being a mess.
Well, that particular addition that we're talking about was put on, I believe, when plumbing came to town, so that would have been probably way prior to any zoning of any
Oh,
kind.
yeah.
The garden is moved to the north, could the patio be,
I'm sorry, I'm hard of hearing.
if the garden is moved to the north, could the
That
patio?
garden is landscape blocks and it's raised.
Oh,
and
so it can't
It
be
is where it
moved.
is.
Oh, okay.
Does anybody wish to comment in this case? Anybody else have any questions, or? With that, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move case number 2207, vote to approve a variance, Morton Municipal Code 7831, setbacks, side yard structures.
Give it a second.
Second.
a second.
Yeah, Scott did.
Warham,
No.
Kelso,
No.
Bartholomew,
No.
Spar,
No.
Butterfield,
No.
not approved.
So I guess the next step would be, that will have to be cut back to 5 foot Would
He
that
he
be
can have,
technically
you can have a
side-
5-foot service walk,
Yeah.
so if you want to, continue
I'll
that-
just continue it.
the
from-
service walk, and then
I'll
just cut.
continue the walk on
yeah,
around.
All right,
That's fine.
thank you. All right. Okay. No business?
Nothing tonight.
Brad, you have anything else?
I do not.
Greg? All right, with that, I hear a motion for adjournment.
I move we adjourn.
I'll second
Sec-
that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Adjourned.